Okay, so here we are back again, and we're going to use the unit circle to evaluate this function, and it's 450 and it's in the negative direction. So first thing we need to talk about is that's 360. So where's 450? 450 is actually at 90. So 450 in the negative direction is truly 270 degrees. And according to what we know on the unit circle, which I'll show you, 270 degrees is here. It is 0, -1. So it is at the location 0, -1. Now the reason that's important is because we know that all of these points are of the form cosine theta, sine theta, and we also know that tangent of theta is equal to sine theta divided by cosine theta. Ooh, that was messy. Okay, so coming on over here. First things first. Sine of theta, I know, is -1. Cosine of theta, I know, is 0, which means tangent of theta is undefined. Because tangent is sine divided by cosine. If you put a 0 in the denominator, that's not allowed. Now, let's see here. Cosecant of theta is just the reciprocal of sine, so that's nice. Secant of theta is the reciprocal of cosine, but guess what? If you do the reciprocal of cosine, that's 1 over 0, that's a no-no. So it's actually undefined. And cotangent of theta is equal to the reciprocal of tangent. Now in this case, tangent, remember, was -1 divided by 0. So if you do the reciprocal of that, it just looks like I'm scribbling on the paper, but I promise I'm trying to draw arrows. That would be 0 over -1, which is actually 0. Okay, good for us. Now it says find the reference angle here for 329. So first eyeball where you know 329 is, and then you have to ask yourself, if this is 329 degrees, what is the small angle that goes up to the x-axis? Well, that's just some quick, simple math. You can do it in your head. You can plug it in your calculator. Whatever you want. I got 31 degrees. It's not negative because reference angles are always positive. So even though it's down there, it's positive. Okay, it says evaluate the tangent of 7 pi over 4 without using a calculator. Ooh, okay, nice. Let's see if we can find 7 pi over 4 on our cheat sheet. 7 pi over 4, 7 pi over 4. I found it. Did you find it? It's down here. 7 pi over 4 happens when the cosine is rad 2 over 2 and the sine is negative rad 2 over 2. Okay, so go back to our problem. Keep that in mind. This happens at rad 2 over 2, negative rad 2 over 2. So we know, sorry that's yellow, that the tangent function is just the sine function divided by the cosine function. So that's negative radical 2 over 2 divided by radical 2 over 2. So whenever you have a fraction divided by a fraction, all you're really doing is multiplying by the reciprocal, and check out what's about to happen. 2's cancel, rad 2's cancel, and the answer is -1, which means the tangent of 7 pi over 4 is -1. Yay! Okay, graphing. So, take a quick look here. We've got a shift. First of all, make it small. I can see that my amplitude is 4. I know that my period is 2 pi over whatever's connected to the x. In this case, it's a 3. And I know that I have a shift up 3 units. So we'll deal with that in a minute. So I have the origin 0, 0, and I have my period of 2 pi over 3. Now remember, you need to know the halfway mark, the quarter mark, and the 3/4 mark. So what is half of 2 pi over 3? Well, 2 pi over 3 times a half is just 2 pi over 6. Unfortunately, 2 pi over 6 reduces into pi over 3. And I say unfortunately just because when they reduce, it's more work for us. Okay, so that's the halfway point. I didn't really draw it exactly halfway, but envision it with your mind, okay? Alright, now we need the quarter point. The quarter point is when we take half of that. So pi over 3 times 1/2, so we're taking half, is pi over 6. So here's pi over 6. Now, go with me here. Remember how we talked about this. This is 1 pi over 6. This is, what is this? Hey, this is 2 pi over 6. So this one is 3 pi over 6. And to check our work, the question is, oops, didn't mean to write that, is this one 4 pi over 6? And the question is, does 4 over 6 reduce to 2/3? Yes, it does. Okay, I'm going to erase that mess because who can even read it? That was 4 pi, much better, over 6. Okay, so I have the period done. I have all that. Now I need the shift up 3. So let's call this 1, 2, 3. And now I need my amplitude of 4. This is no small graph. So there's 3. Here's 1, 2, 3, 4. Remember, sine starts down. So I need my dot right here, my point, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see, and it starts by going up, so I put that in the wrong spot. So 1, 2, 3, 4 go up. Come down. This was the one here. Whoops, I wrote. Oh, I totally messed this up, guys. Okay, I forgot that we were up here. So just pretend I didn't draw that. There. It'll look better without it anyway. There we go. Here's my down. Here's my up. So the hardest thing when you're shifting up is to remember to draw your points on that middle line, which is not what I did. As you saw, I went and I drew them on the axis. And then this one's down here at -1 because remember my amplitude was 4, so I counted down 1, 2, 3, 4 units down to the -1. Okay, so sine starts up. Make it curvy, make it pretty. Do your best. Lovely. Okay, one more. Graph. Alright, it's a sine function again, no problem. So first thing we need to do is figure out the amplitude, which is 3. The period comes from 2 pi divided by whatever's connected to the x. In this case, it's a 2, so the period is pi. And we have a shift again. This time it's down 2. Let's see if I can remember the shift this time. Alright, so start with your period. It's nice that it's pi, because then we know that this is pi halves. And we know that this is pi fourths. And then this is the only tricky one. This is 1 pi over 4, 2 pi over 4, 3 pi over 4. Okay, love it. Now I have to shift this down 2. So if I had been thinking, what would I have done? I would have written all of these up. Let's see if I have a selector tool and I'll just grab them and move them. Yep, check it out. Bet you can't do that without an eraser. Okay, so I've moved them up. Perfect. Because now I'm going down 2, 1, 2, draw your middle line. Make it dash because it doesn't really exist. Sine always starts on the midline. And I'm going to put my points on the midline first this time so I don't forget. Ooh, that doesn't really look like the middle, does it? Oh well. Now we're going to go up, and our amplitude is 3. So I've got to go up 1, 2, 3, make a point. Now I have to extend my graph, go down 1, 2, 3, over here. Make it curvy, make it pretty, do the best you can. Definitely didn't space that evenly, didn't I? Okay, it looks good. Questions, ask each other because your test is next.